All right, Scotty, now we're going to take a look at your backstroke from the underwater side view. Okay. Hands get really clean, so you're doing a good job at entering the water, getting the air bubbles off the hands as you go into your catch and pulling through, so I don't see a lot of air on your hands. Here your pinky first on that entry with the right arm. As we said before, getting a good pitch, but here's where I would like to see you do a little bit better job. You can see the hand, keep the elbow up, so you're dropping that elbow a little bit. You can just see it dropping there. We want to keep it up a little higher, and then we want this hand not to be pitched towards the bottom on our catch because we don't want to be pulling ourselves up in the water. We want to see the thumb here and the pinky down here. So it's a straight hand at that catch, so you can immediately catch that water and start pulling it back towards your feet. And that's what we'd like to see. And you can just see there's your hands more directed towards the bottom of the pool here as you're starting to catch all the way through to this point, and it's still leading with the thumb. So we still want to kind of change the pitch. That's going to change the catch, and that's where I think you're losing that hand sliding a little bit. You're losing that power in the pull. We want the thumb here and the hand to be angled straight down. So everything you're pulling is straight back toward your feet. And right now you're pulling a little bit, you're pulling back, but you're pulling towards the bottom also. So it's kind of wasted energy. And we want, if we can just keep that elbow a little higher, a little longer, that's going to help you get in that position. Right here, you're in a good position. You can see the hand swept up and it's pushing the water straight back to your feet. We just want to get that earlier in the catch and then down through. Finishing a little low. So we don't want to finish quite so low and away from our hips. We want to finish below our hips, but right there. So we don't want to sweep so low down below the body. We want to sweep a little bit closer to the hip, hold that hand a little bit longer, and then push down right at the hip, so not get so deep with that part of the pull. Head position, body position, the hips are riding really high, feet are near the surface of the water. That is really good. That's really what I want to see on anybody swimming backstroke. Again, I think you get the shoulder out of the water really good when we're talking about the right shoulder. And here you can just see it's a little high. Still, you want to be a little more turned to your right side, and you want this hip to be turned down as well when you get to that point as you're entering the water on your right side. So there could be a little bit of an overreach. We'll have to see that on the top view. Kick again. Very good. Foot's turned out here. I'd like to see it turned up, just that right foot. So if I'm looking at the right foot, it's turned outward. Want it to just turn up towards the ceiling. We want it turned up towards the top of the water, not outward. But you're doing a good job straightening those knees, keeping the knees on the surface of the water. That all looks good. We'll see the left side when we get to that point. But again, a lot of good things, but just getting on that side a little bit more for that right hand pull, and then angling that hand better. Here at the turn, again, I talked about this before. You're kind of opening up too early, so you want to keep that tuck a little bit more. So if I'm drawing it, your back is really straight at this point. Like to see you come in with your feet at this point and be a little closer to the wall, so you're still a little more tucked with that back. You're rounded as we speak as you hit the wall, not so flat out. But your feet are hitting at a good position. They need to be high towards the top of that, towards the bottom of that tile. They're right where they need to be. And then I'll get you on this line and your push off, so give you a good depth coming off on the wall. And if we frame it ahead, right on that line. So really good push from that point. I just think you get more out of your push off if you don't straighten that back before you push, that you keep that tuck a little longer and don't kind of throw your legs to the wall. But good, nice length coming off the wall, about a body length off the wall, and then you start your kick out. And again, I kind of pointed from the upward view. We want the arms to stay very still out in front. So you want them on this line here, but watch your arms as you're coming through. They'll go up and down above that line. The kick actually needs to happen from the lower chest all the way down through the feet. So the up and down motion comes there from that point. From here, from the upper chest up through the arms, it's a very straight line. and we don't want to be moving that arm up and down. We want to keep that streamline, keep it tight there, and you just had a little bit too much movement. Again, clean hands. Again, we can see on the left side, same thing. You want to push water toward your feet. You want to push yourself straight forward. So if my hand's here, my energy is pushing down and I'm pushing myself up and forward, and I want to turn that hand a little bit more this direction so my energy is pushing me straight ahead, so straight down the pool, not up. So just getting those hands turned a little bit. Again, I think you're just leading a little bit with the elbows. Keep those elbows catching the water at the same time as the hand. You do a good job at the end of the pole. Shoulders a little late getting over on that side, but then you're a little better here than you were on your right as far as getting rolled over on that side. But I do think the hand, as I can see the elbow here, I do think you're reaching back behind your head. So I think there's a bend in that elbow that happens right there, and it's because you're not enough on this side. You need to make sure you rotate more to this side, the left side of your body, and don't get caught flat or a little bit to the right as you're entering the water, as you're finishing the stroke. As the finished stroke of that right hand, that right hip should be up more, and that left hip should be down, and you should be more on that left side. And then let's go forward and see the finish of the stroke again. Again, hands turned a little bit towards the bottom. Catch there, finish. And the finish again, not quite as deep as the right side, but still a little bit down away from the body. Would like to see it, if I can draw that line again, like to see it more on that line. Just, it should finish below the body, but not, that's like a foot and a half below the body. We want to finish maybe 2 or 3 inches below the hip.